First of all, there's Mark Hampton, and we have Ollie Hollingdale. Thanks so much for giving up your Wednesday night, guys. And Mark, I'm going to turn to you first. Ollie, we showed you trailer at the beginning. We're going to come back to that as well. And we are also going to show your crowdfunding campaign. Here we go. And let's just grab this one. Right. So I take it this is the right campaign. I'm sure it must be.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Okay. Me likey. So
and then further down there is like a pitch video to kind of welcomes new people who've come, you know, if they want to catch up, they can watch that pitch video and brings them all up to speed and everything.
Yeah, for those people watching, all the links for everything to do with Mark and Ollie are all down there. So you can just click and go and have a look. Okay, so this is not the first crowdfunder. Mark's on the first one for 5 cars. You've done some for is it Gallowmere or Gallowmere?
Yeah, you got it right, Gallowmere, yes.
Gallowmere. Yeah. So how many is this for this now? Is this the second or is this the third?
This is the second one. This is the second one. Yes.
Okay, yeah, so, and the goal you've got 250 quid. You've got 30 days to go. I think it only went live today, didn't it?
That is correct. Yes.
So how much are you hoping to raise on this one?
I mean, it'd be nice for the full amount of 7.5, but yeah, it is one of those things. I didn't think, you know, if we were successful the first time, we wouldn't have need to do like a second one. You know, there might be a third, fourth, fifth. It isn't, you know, the nature of it is, I think crowdfunding, it is a bit of a strange territory these days.
The second video below, that's your pitch video. That's you selling the film.
Yeah, it's talking about it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I get the gist of it. Definitely needs a castle in it somewhere. So it's good that you've got a beard, because I don't think you're allowed to direct fantasy films unless you have a big beard. I think that's kind of part and parcel of. Look at Peter Jackson. Looking at the perks, I want to look at the perks of both of your campaigns, because a successful campaign is all about the perks. I'm just watching that video, right? If I was watching that video and I could chuck some money in, the perk that I would want is that map printed up on something nice. But you're making 2 incredibly different movies. And although, you might get some people, you know, through the luxury of just having lots of money, and most people don't these days, of course. You know, you're crowdfunding in the worst financial recession ever.
Yes.
When people are thinking, fuck, can I keep the lights on? I mean, I haven't got as many lights on in here as I normally. I've got one there. I haven't even got the fairy lights on, actually. So when I do a stream,
yeah, totally. It's like, can you support my campaign? Well, no, I can't fill up my car, right?
No, exactly. So you've really got to, you've got to go beyond your friends and family and even your core tribe. You've got to find the people that want to see that movie, who want to get invested and help you make it. So Ollie, in your case, that's your fantasy crowd. So where are you going and what are you doing to ingratiate yourself to get to those people or find those people? And that's the same question for you, Mark, in a sec.
It's hitting up all these kind of fantasy blog sites and everything. Had a partnered with like a fantasy network guys for the last campaign who've got a massive sort of subscription base as well. Just trying to do everything. And again, it's just trying to have that social media presence. I cannot stand social media. I hate the damn thing. But you gotta create little vignettes, little trailers, little posters, post hashtags, make sure it's the right hashtags so it hits people who love Dungeons and Dragons and fantasy and all this sort of stuff. So you just got to keep digging away at it, and slowly but surely it starts to pull people to it.
Because in my mind, you can't just, like when we were doing Paratrooper, which was a World War II thing, I couldn't just bulldoze my way into a World War II forum, and those guys are proper hardcore as well, online, and say, give me money. I made sure I joined those forums way ahead of time of us doing any of that kind of thing. Talk to people about the project, but then I also talked to them about other things, and I became Mr. Helpful. You know?
No, of course. I'm not.
So that
I don't just jump in and go, "Hey guys, I'm doing this." I'm like, "Who the hell is
But
this
you've
guy?"
got to put it
I'm
out
always,
there. You've got to.
I'm
You follow
always,
me? You've got to put it out there to get it back.
absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
always been a part of reenactment groups. I've always been a part of.
Right.
I've done Viking short films and stuff before. So again, all that sort of Viking mythology group stuff is very closely connected to a lot of fantasy groups and things like that. So
Yeah.
again, I'm meshed in that sort of
Well,
world.
and that's where you're getting your
we've got quite a few people
your links
from
for
the
the
previous.
costumes and swords and which is,
absolutely.
and of course you've got me on the case sorting out where to film a castle for you, which of course is vital for your trailer. Ollie, how many pages is the script for Gallowmere?
Oof.
579.
I don't know how many there are at the moment.
Well, what's your guesstimate running time for it?
Again, at the moment, I don't know.
Really?
It's
So
one of those things. You could get half a page, and then, or before you know it, that's could be like a whole, like nearly 2-3 minute scene. It's we're trying to do. We got the bigger picture of it all, which could be like like a feature, and then we've got a very condensed version, which could summarize into a short film, potentially like a cliffhanger to be continued at the end.
Yeah.
But it's just trying to kind of aim for the small bracket first, because it means that at least we got a kind of completed piece, but at the same time continuing to shoot, because again, I just trying to think that we live in such a very unpredictable world. 3-4 months down the line, something might happen and we might not be able to shoot for the next sort of year or so. So rather than having like a quarter finish, at least we got a condensed narrative there, which can be sort of be shared around, maybe put online, or film festival circuit as a short whilst we're shooting. So again, there's quite a few different sort of cogs moving.
I think the best
world and an original world from
the
scratch.
best way to look at what you're trying to do, Ollie, is you're telling a small story in a much bigger world. Is that fair? So focus on telling the small story, but stick some castles in the background so we know the world is bigger.
Yes, there's a lot of world building going on as well.
Yeah, and I get that. And I mean it. Your stuff technically always looks really great, and you're doing stuff underwater, which is
very cool.
Yeah, fantastic. I've not tried shooting underwater yet. That's one of the things. I mean, let's talk about that. What were the challenges of that? And I mean, did you have a particular kit and camera for that, or did you chuck it in some kind of Ziploc bag and hope for the best? What happened?
Very not far off. Very limited time. The camera operator Morgan, who was shooting it that day, he was we put his camera in this bag, because I mean, when you look at water housing, you're looking at a couple grand, right? Because he's got all the nuts and bolts and everything, and all has like decompression chambers, all that sort of stuff. So we did hire out for a good few hours a scuba school, because we needed a deep pool. I think it was about between 5 and 6 meters deep. We needed that plunge. So filming at a local swimming center is just out of the question, really. So we just needed like a nice big deep tank so we could have the actor dive in. So the camera that we had, DSLR, we put it in, and it was like a Ziploc type bag thing. I think it was about like 80 quid. And we just sort of hope for the best, pray to the film gods that no water leaked in whilst you're doing it. And it's got like it was a nightmare, because the plastic was touching the touch screen, and it was flicking through all the settings, and Morgan was like, "Oh my god, this is a nightmare." So we had to turn that off, and then he had to have his goggles, looking through the viewfinder, trying to
nightmare.
Whilst got these two little holes that you slide your fingers in, and trying to mess around with the focus and all this kind of stuff. So a lot of it was, and we're up against the clock and everything. That behind the scenes video comes out in a couple of weeks online. So I mean, I'm sure we'll be up to see it.
And how long is that shot in the edit?
I mean, that's probably a good sort of minute and a.
Or
it is a
underwater?
key- yeah, it's a
Okay.
key sequence
Right. Cool.
Right.
for the story. So yeah, he's heading down to retrieve something. Our kind of situation is that I've been very blessed to have a great costume guy come on to be involved for like nothing.
Yeah.
And to kind of help with costumes and everything with his arsenal of amazing talent.
Yeah,
And
they do look very good.
They
I
look
mean,
amazing. They look
yeah,
phenomenal. And
yeah,
the
I
look,
mean,
that is so much of the world that you're building. Because if you're in forests and stuff, that's the thing that tells the story about the world, right? Is what they're wearing and how they present things.
Yeah.
absolutely, and yeah.
characters
So this
presented.
guy Christopher, he's his kind of IP is called the Norse Dragon Armory, and he's a very talented guy. He's learned all the kind of craft himself, and it's very, very blessed to have him on board, because that's one of the other things in the early stages of getting the pre-production and all that kind of stuff. I was like costumes, and then when you start budgeting, right, 4 main characters, you've got a wizard, an elf, a rogue, and an assassin. You're looking at nearly 800 per character to have a costume that's made well, and it's not just like a Halloween costume fancy dress shop. Is to get some serious kind of costumes.
It's got to be believably lived in, right?
Well, that's it as well.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's it as well. And so yeah, I've been very blessed for that. So really, and then this day and age, we're very blessed that technology's got to the point now where anything can shoot at like raw 4K. Because you got to, it's at our fingertips. DSLR, it looks damn good. You can shoot some amazing content as long as you've got.
You can all shoot at night now as well. You can shoot at night, and stuff looks good.
So the only thing that's kind of what we're raising money for is just for kind of the logistics, just to make sure it just creates that well-oiled, accommodation, fuel, and food. That's what we're trying to raise money for. Really, is just to kind of get that. We've got everyone who's committed, thankfully, which is amazing. Who believe in it, but yeah, it's just, I mean, like for fuel. What's going on?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So that's kind of where it's all going. It's just food, travel,
Buy the crew mountain bikes. It'll be cheaper. You could probably
they'll
buy
be
one
nice
bike.
and sweaty for when we get to location.
Won't need to spray on sweat.
Yeah,
keep everybody fit.
Spray.
They'll all be able to fit in their costumes after COVID tummy times. In action films, especially, I just switch off completely. And I think it was said on another friend of mine's stream, the amount of damage that somebody can take in a story. The amount of they land on a car from 20 feet. Now it's like 100 feet, and they get up again and carry on fighting.
Ridiculous.
That world is
Fast and Furious.
It goes back to what I said earlier about like obeying the laws of physics, right?
Yeah.
Just make it believable, just believable enough, because the just enough has just moved beyond. It's gone off the scale now in terms of the things that people can go through and still, like you say, still get up and throw a punch.
A really good film that got that just right and kind of, in a way, was making a stab at those films was Nobody, with the guy from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Have you seen it? Where he played?
I haven't seen it. I really want to, because it looks a really fun movie.
Guys, you both want to watch that. And he fights some guys on a bus at one point. And I mean, he's a good fighter. He's an assassin, so he can do all these amazing things. But it's realistic. So if he gets hit, he takes damage. You can see it hurts, and that's why the poster is of him all getting smashed around. And it's like, this is what it would be like if this guy was, really good, but actually real.
And that is why we love Raiders, right? Because he does the big action sequence, he goes under the truck and all the rest of it. At the end of it, he is limping and holding his whole body, absolutely aching.
Yeah,
he is absolutely aching all over, and you can feel it because he's just been through that. So you believe that he went through it, because that's the toll it would take on the human body.
And it's a journey as well, with the character moving from the beginning to the end as well. Another good kind of action sequence, which I thought was amazing, is you see that film with Charlize Theron, Atomic Blonde, where it's that one
around the staircase and the lift.
Yeah, and from the beginning it's all high octane, but by the end of it, just literally her and the assassin just grunting, shattered. They can't even stand properly. They're just
that is good. That's a good fight sequence.
take him out with a corkscrew at the end of it, just to,
Yeah.
it's just that is really good because you just see that fatigue set in quickly.
Stuff of that quality is, getting
Rare.
fewer and fewer,
for sure.
sadly.
And when you see that, you think, oh my God, it's just so good to see it.
What's going to happen after the campaign? So, Ollie, let's assume you get, you're hoping to get about 7.5.
Yeah.
Well, let's assume you get 5K. What are you going to do with it? What's the next phase?
Oh my goodness. So it'd be the sort of the meat and potatoes of the story, because there's lots of
mainly dialogue scenes. Is that what you're focusing on next?
Yeah,
You've got a lot of shots of guys wandering through forests and over hills.
Those are well needed, because again, it's all aids the overall aesthetic.
Yeah, no, I get that, absolutely.
But there's a few key scenes where we've got it's around a campfire scene where involves lots of people. There's going to be loads of different angles, and it's just lots of stuff happens during the camp scene. You've got big exposition dump, as it were, but it's how to shoot it in a way that one isn't boring for the audience, two it's almost like a information as well, and then just thinking about the third act, the final third act of the story, because our heroes fight and sort of an evil entity from this kind of shadow plane. How can you the
trailer?
And we just, again, it's just we're using it again to our strengths of, all right, we know we're very limited. We're not going to start throwing in CGI monsters that are going to look crap, because a lot of fantasy is my genre. I love it to death. I've watched so many fantasies along the way, and obviously Lord of the Rings is always the benchmark of the kind of to aim for, but that's impossible to aim for it, that kind of the heights. But
have you seen this one,
The Sword and the Sorcerer? No,
mate. 1982, the low budget answer to Conan, but it's awesome. You've got to see it. This is Albert Poon, who is the king of the B movies, and this is how a guy made created a world out of almost nothing. And
definitely going to check that out.
His battle scenes are like 20 bodies in fields and lots of smoke canisters going off and scattered weapons, but you believe it. It's really well shot.
Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I'm always, and just we want our film to kind of stand out from a lot of the B movie aesthetic that you get with a lot of B movie fantasy movies.
And you've got all your cast in place, right?
Yep, and a lot of it is okay. We can't, I don't want to chuck in dragons and fucking monsters.
No.
But a lot of these movies do.
Yeah.
But it's like we want to try and stand out. So when people see Gallowmere, they can go, "Well, you know what? Bloody hell, that was for whatever the budget that was really good." So we're focusing on the characters.
Also, the best monsters are the ones that you don't see a lot of the time.
You got it. Yeah. You got it. So again, it's building up that threat, the mystery, this entity, whatever this thing is, this necromancy type deal. We're seeing, again, it's less is more. And if we have a very, very effective way of shooting the third act that can do it convincingly, then there's going to be some CGI magic-y type stuff, but at that point we want it to feel earned. We want it to feel that it's justified to have it, because we've built up this threat, and it's not just like a showy gimmicky type thing. It's like, oh crap, this is like firing all cylinders now to stop whatever this is that's threatening this sort of.
And Ollie, if people can't put money into your campaign, but there might be another way they could help you, what else do you need that could save you money, i.e. person that owns a minibus who would come and drive it for a couple of days? Or do you know what I mean? Is there anything that comes to mind that you think, I could do with somebody helping out with this? Anything?
I mean, the main thing is just reach out to us, have that open dialogue with us. If it could be down to helping out, or they might know someone who's a good at visual effects. They're good at certain skill set. They might be interested, or just they might go, hey, I'm part of something. Again, it's just try and cast as big a net as possible, because the more people, I guess, know about what we're trying to do, and that's kind of
we're Ollie's trying to make a homage to Lord of the Rings, not a homage.
It's
not a homage to Wheel of Time.
It's a love letter to the fantasy genre. Let's put it
Yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
The right kind of love letters
Yes,
for the
and
fantasy
it's
genre, not
and
some of
yes,
the shit they're churning out right now.
oh god, yeah, no, it's trying and do it.
Yeah, let's leave that topic for another time. For those people that have been watching, thank you so much. If you've got any
Thanks, guys.
comments, put them in the stuff and we'll get back to you. If you want to know more about Mark or Ollie's films, all the contact details are down there. And look, if you can't support their campaigns, because we know times are hard,
No.
what you can do is you can get the copy and link of the campaign and just chuck it up on your social media, watch the videos. And if you like them, and you can see these guys are very passionate about what they do. They love what they do. They want to make a good product. That's what they have got in common as filmmakers. Just copy and paste links and share the love for them, and just let other people know about the campaign. You know, the people that have got deeper pockets than you, because you never know. Uncle Ted might see it and suddenly Ollie's got 10 grand to go and film in that castle. So
we need an Uncle Ted.
Yeah,
Ted,
we all need an Uncle Ted. On that note, stay creative out there, stay safe, and I shall see you all again real soon.
Cool. Thanks so much.